Well, hey everyone, Biggs is back. What an absolutely chaotic week it's been. I've been in Toronto for the Canadian Aquatics Expo, which is only one small portion of the Canadian Pet Expo. Now, we were absolutely blown away about how incredible the attendance was for the Aquatic Expo. But that's the other channel. You guys don't want to know about the fish stuff and all the cool stuff that went on there. You guys want to know what else we picked up. Let's talk about it. So I told you guys it was absolutely crazy. Now this is not the fish channel, but this thing was an absolute incredible thing for the expo. Not just for me, not just for Joey, but this thing was absolutely over the top. Video came out. You guys go check it out on the other channel. It was absolutely insane. Not only was it just insane, the crowd absolutely loved it too. So we're really looking forward to bringing that sort of type of content, that sort of energy back to the expo again next year. But on the reptile side and the plant side, now if you've never attended one of these expos, we take over 3 full halls on this one. So we had the reptile and plant expo was in hall 1. And at the end of hall 1, there's kind of this big giant area. It's still attached to hall 1, but we call it the second hall. And that's where the aquatic expo was. And it's about the same size as hall 1. And then you go into hall 2, which is this gigantic convention center. Now, I honestly never went past the first 25 feet of hall 2. That's dog, cat, small animal, everything. And I've been there many times. It's insane for all the cool stuff they got there. But I just couldn't. The aquatic side was just so over the top insane. We had so many incredible vendors. We had so much incredible stuff going on. I really was desperately just to find time to get down and check out some of the really cool, insane stuff on the reptile and plant side. Not only did I want to just go and see what was there, I also had stuff that was kind of pre-ordered and put aside for me. So it took a little bit of time for me to be able to find a way to get over and see it. Now, I want to just show you guys some of the incredible stuff I came up with. Now, first thing was this one incredible shop. Now you guys, I'm standing here for a reason. All my cool little oddities and stuff like that. There's been a few of those type of vendors that have been there, and I've seen a few of their wares and stuff like that, but there hasn't been anything that's just kind of just grabbed me and say, wow, Biggs, that's crazy. You got to get that home. But this place here, the Sleepy Scorpion, this place was absolutely over the top. It was their very first time ever attending an expo, and holy smokes did they deliver. Now, it was only because I was traveling and I had so much stuff going on, I didn't have a lot of space. And I don't think I'd really planned to bring home much more stuff, but she had some really cool pieces. So I was able to pick up 2 kind of cool pieces. Look at this incredible spider piece. Like, how insane is that? Oh, it's just absolutely cool. The Felicula immaculata, a golden orb weaver spider, and framed, everything like that. It was awesome. Just really cool. I don't even know where I'm going to put it. I'm probably going to have to go up on the wall with all this stuff. Now, as insanely cool as that one is, this is something that I would never normally have, but we got butterflies, we got all sorts of stuff and everything like this, but check out this incredible cicada. This is the world's largest cicada. This thing is absolutely massive. It is so cool looking. So very stoked to have those 2 pieces from the Sleepy Scorpion, and I'm sure down the road I'll be definitely adding more pieces from them in the years to come, expos to come, because they were so excited about being there at that expo and how incredible it was for them. They'll definitely be on next year. Now, I also was able to pick up some other things. Let's take a peek. Well, I guess this is probably a more appropriate setting for the next little things that we're going to show you off. I'm not going to show you off in their fancy new enclosures yet because we haven't built them. And then I just got home last night at like 10 o'clock at night, so all you're going to see is a deli cup. You're just going to have to accept it, take my word for it, that it's super cool. But I did pick up 2 more tarantulas, 2 more female tarantulas. And I got these ones from Dawn Schneider over at Tangled Up in Webs, and they are incredible. Now, I was able to poke down there once and see what she had. I saw these 2 and put them aside. She said she had a whole bunch of other stuff coming the next day, and I just never had a chance to get down there. So I was able to pick up those 2. What did I pick up? Well, I picked up, I don't even remember the Latin name on it, but it's the Thailand orange fringed tarantula. That's all you're going to get right now, but she is absolutely incredible. So I'm very much excited to go and set up a really cool habitat. I got some really neat ideas for this one for a very unique style of background for her, just because it's something a little bit cooler. And the other one I got was one I definitely wasn't expecting to find, because I haven't even found slings of this one in a while. This one I believe is a Salmopius. I believe the species is Victoria. And this is the Star Wars one. This is the Darth Maul tarantula. It's half black and half red, as you can clearly see. But she's definitely in there, and she's definitely incredible. And I definitely don't want her to jump out on my face, but she looks incredible. I'll just have to take my word for it until we go and get her set up really, really cool. I also picked up a snake hook. You guys will know why I picked up a little snake hook in a few videos down the road. My friends over at the Westwood Reptile Gardens, she sent me a note about a couple of weeks back, and then I just was out of the picture. I was kind of sick for a while. She said that one of the snakes had some babies. There's some babies there for me. These are definitely not animals I was expecting to have again, so I'm excited, but I'm also a little apprehensive. So I want to make sure whatever we're going to build for them is just going to be absolutely awesome. So that may give you a bit of a hint. It may give you an idea of what we're going to be doing. Maybe not. Now, you guys remember George? Do you remember George, this incredible Anthurium veitchii that I was gifted at by a dear friend Megan in Madison, Wisconsin, when I just spoke down there at that big convention? Well, George is doing really, really well. She bought George for me as a gift, and then when I took George, she missed George, so she bought a second one, and now she has George the second. So this is George, and she has George the second. Well, at the end of teardown yesterday, or the day before, I don't even know what day it is, we were there till like way past midnight, well into the early morning hours. It just seemed to go on forever. But in one of the rooms where they had meetings, some of the vendors had donated plants, and some of the plants were there to, just kind of make a nice, better, more ambient sort of thing. And there was one plant that was kind of sitting on the table, and I asked him, I says, what's happening with that? And they said he was going to take it home. And I said, do you know anybody think about the care about that? He said, no. I said, that's a little bit more challenging than your average house plant because of their humidity requirements and the different types of potting needs and stuff. So apparently I came home with a plant. And me taking a tropical house plant on an airplane was not fun. I had to carry it around as if I brought my own pet. But I came home with George the Third. So not only do we have George, but we now have George the Third, a slightly larger version. He has a lot of yellowy leaves. You got to bear in mind, this is a plant that basically was brought in, taken out of its environment on Tuesday, and sitting in a convention center room for almost an entire week. Or whatever, and then it was shown off. So that plant's going through a bit of stress right now. I gave it a good solid watering with some nice RO water when we got home, and I'm sure George the Third will be just fine. But I also got some other really, really cool stuff from Understory Enterprises. Let's take a quick peek at those. Before we get to that, something really cool just happened the other day. You guys know this incredible spider. These are just some little slings that we're growing up right now. You guys remember when we just did the rehousing of these little guys. These are the ones that were Killiabrachus species electric blue. And you guys know how absolutely stunning they get. But this species has actually been just recently renamed or formally described. And I believe it's Killiabrachus nanichorum. And, I believe this one's a boy. I'm pretty sure that one's a boy. But I have one very, very obvious female in this one here. And just as I went and turned on the light to kind of come here and show you guys, of course she went dodged for cover. So you can look at one of the little Bacilliothera instead. But that's cool that a species that's just so incredibly popular finally gets formally described. Now let's get back to what we were talking about. Now the first plant that I picked up was one of those plants that I brought in last time, and it sat in the bag for that whole week I was in Toronto, and it just kind of rotted away. I had nothing to even start with. And it is a Begonia species, and this is Begonia dodsoni, and this is the crispa format, but it has these incredible hirsutute leaves, right underside. It's really, really incredible plant. Ignore this. This is the one we're talking about, this one here. So I got two nice little strips of, two growing strips, And I think it's going to do just absolutely fabulous. I love the texture of it. So that's number 1. Can you guys guess what number 2 is? Well, I just couldn't pass it up. They had it on the table when I went to pick up my 2 little tiny plants that I was expecting. And they had it for $40, and it filled this whole container. That's right, this is this massive piece of Highland. Now, I have a small piece of Highland. I believe it might be that one there, or that might be Satensia, I don't remember. And it just never really took off very well, but just to get a nice, really solid piece, there's the roots on it, you know, get it established really, really well. I just put it in there this morning, but this piece is huge compared to some of the other stuff. So at that price point, I just couldn't pass it up. So that's number 2. Number 3 is decidedly smaller. This is the next one. The Kalima, felicula, and this is from the region's Tarantulas. Now, can you see it in there? Can you see it? Can you see it? It is a little tiny plant. I wish to say it was this cool little thing, but it's not. It is this incredible little fern. It looks awesome. And this is a plant they brought in, or they were cultivating, and they only had so many, and as soon as they put it on the site, it literally sold out right away. But she said I was one of the ones that had emailed, and she said she had one put aside for me. But the whole plant is right there. I'm sure it's going to be absolutely incredible once it gets going. But please don't die, little plant. Please don't die. I will love you. Please don't die. So, that's pretty much all the really slick and cool stuff I picked up at the expo. I don't know what you guys got, but maybe people got some animals, some cool snakes, cool lizards. To me, the plants are the main one right now because we got to start getting a lot of this stuff growing. Like, and as I've shown you in the video, there's some begovias that are growing. There's another one there growing. This is really taken off. Well, I'm not touching it though until I find out what that is. Let that grow. This is doing well. Everything you've seen in all these little things is doing really, really well. So pretty excited for the next projects we got coming up. So with that, my friends, that'll be it for today. I need some time to recover. And we'll talk to you next time. Take care.